August 27th, 10:05 p.m. Myanmar, 8th District.
Damn, guess I'm going without dinner.
But what about the tart?
You even good to be out this late? I thought students had a curfew.
That's kind of you to think of me, but I received permission to be out this late beforehand. Never mind my curfew. Won't you let me see to your arm? Do you have a first aid kit in the office?
I do, but...
It looks like it started healing on its own.
I mean, I would hope so, yeah.
I know it wasn't that bad in the first place, but it's still healing way too fast for it to be normal. Wonder if I got that orbment or turning into a monster to thank for this.
Ah, right, okay. That was the odd bit. Not that it was healing, that it was healing too fast.
This all began with those diaries.
Flashback time?
They were passed down from my great-grandfather to my grandmother, and then down to my mother until her death 4 years ago.
4 years ago, okay. Put a pin in that.
As you guessed, my great-grandfather is the famous Professor Epstein. It was known at the time that he had an adopted daughter, but she went missing very suddenly after he passed away. By the sound of it, something compelled her to shy away from the public eye.
Okay.
I don't know what that something was. It wasn't written in the letter she left me. Then after my mother died, my father began to lose himself in his work.
What work?
And now all alone, I became more and more captivated by the many diaries that were left behind. They weren't filled with complex formulae or specialist knowledge or things like that. Instead, they were about who he was as a person, what he was like, what his philosophies were, what he valued most in life. He wrote about the little things that colored his days, his bonds with his loved ones, his time spent with his disciples. I could see through every word written that he was a kind, warm-hearted man with a good sense of humor. A man I could respect a great deal. I was so happy to have his writings so I could peer into his world, just like my mother and grandmother before me. And before I knew it, those diaries became my most treasured possessions. However, at the end of his final entry, on the very last page, I found a shocking message.
Was it directly towards you? That would be shocking. Like, you're reading through a diary, and then it's like it's directly referencing you and talking to you reading it right now. Like, that kind of thing would be interesting. Again, pure speculation.
It said, recover the 8 Genesee before the year 120X.
Ooh.
Else all we know will come to an end.
Oh yeah, that would be shocking as well, yes.
Pretty ominous thing to write down.
It could have been a delusion that came to him in the winter of his years, but I began to feel that it was why his diaries had been passed down to me. And as the days wore on, my desire to do something to avert the end he foretold grew stronger and stronger. But I knew I couldn't go public with any of it. Not with my grandmother's disappearance. That led me to enroll at Armas Academy, where I met a very dependable upperclassman.
Mm-hmm.
Her advice took me to the Orbalnet, and that led me to you. I just never thought when I started all of this that these would be the consequences. That someone would die. That you would be put in so much danger.
Yeah, but if the fate of the world is at stake, you know. Yes.
Well, you managed to get one of them. Even if there are still 7 more out there, you could always call it quits here.
I can't. Not when they're what connect me to my family. Not when I now know they really exist. And not after seeing that final entry. I can't look away from all of that. Here. This 50,000 Mira is everything I was able to gather for this.
Ooh, I wonder how Van's gonna approach this. Is he gonna take the money? Or is he not going to take the money? And in what way is he going to carry on and join her in her quest to find the other 7?
Please, accept it as compensation for all the help you've given me.
Interesting they're going with 8 and not 7, though, considering trails and the number 7, you know.
I thought I told you my rate.
Well, you did, but I don't feel that it accounted for that injury you sustained because of me.
Maybe he'll take it and be like, well, I have to work off that money now, don't I, that you paid me? Maybe.
I intend to find the remaining 7 on my own. I don't want anyone else to get hurt because of my problems. Oh, but I'll be very careful about it. Promise. Huh?
My rate's 1,000 mira an hour, excluding other necessary expenses.
I'm wondering if we can make out anything else on that there. How many did he take anyway? It looks like he took at least 3. So...
I'll bump it up a little because of the danger involved, but you rolled up your sleeves more than your average client. You put yourself in danger to help me. Any more than 10K would be ripping you off. This is how the world of work is. Good thing you're still in school, because you got a lot to learn.
Maybe, but still... I'm sorry. I just feel you've taken on a lot more than you bargained for from start to finish.
To be honest, that whole turning into a monster thing's got my interest piqued.
yeah, I mean, it would do, wouldn't it?
So it wouldn't feel right to ask you for even more Mira with how we're gonna keep this thing going.
What are you...
Unless you decide to give up altogether, I'll pitch in however I can from here on out.
There we go.
In exchange, you can share any info you got on the Genesee, or anything those diaries say that could help us keep the case open. How's that sound?
Correct me if I'm wrong, but are you telling me that even though you know it might be dangerous...
He wants to help. I mean, again, fate of the world and all that.
You're going to help me search for the other 7 without taking additional compensation?
I mean, he did say he had an hourly rate, though, so...
Hey, info's good compensation.
That's true. Info would be quite lucrative. That you could sell for quite a bit of Mira.
I ain't taking a single Mira, though. I'm gonna need you to get more used to real combat, too, for your own safety. Can't have you leaving yourself wide open and all that good stuff. And I'm gonna drill it into you until you're up to snuff.
There's that aspect from Van where I get that feeling of like he wants to look after her as well, because if she's going on this quest to find the other 7, she needs someone to look after her. She can't do it by herself.
I don't know. This doesn't sound like a fair trade at all. I'm the only one benefiting here. Well, if you insist, Van, then thank you very much. Having your support means a lot to me.
Yeah, well, I'll be counting on you, too. All right, now that today's done and dusted, time for my hard-earned reward.
The tart!
I've been waiting for my Andalusia fig and honey tart all day.
Oh, yeah.
I was gonna scarf it down all by myself, but you pulled your weight today, so let's go half-half.
Thank you. Oh, but I still want to say... It really does bother me just how much I benefit from this arrangement compared to you. I was thinking of a way to even it out and thought, you know, how about I work here part-time?
You want a what?
You seem to be so busy that I can't imagine how you find the time to clean up around here. I'm also good at secretarial work too, so I'm sure I'd be a big help with sorting paperwork and whatever else you need.
Don't you have to go to school?
Just a standard wage is fine. Or even no wage. Unpaid is totally fine.
I can't do that. Haven't you ever heard of labor laws? And forget that. This whole idea is crazy. How did me hiring you even get into your head?
Well, it's because you won't accept any Mira from me. I understand you have your own way of doing things, but I have my own pride to satisfy, you know. You'll just have to compromise.
Flabbergasted sputtering.
Now, let me just cut this tart into two so we can dig in and enjoy. Don't worry, I'll make sure you get the bigger portion. And where do you keep your coffee beans? Oh, there they are.
Disgusting.
Wait, how did you find them so... Who said you could make yourself at home this fast?
Oh dear, oh dear. So now we've got the intro. May have to change the music, of course, for YouTube reasons. You know how it is. But we'll get a good gander at this. As I saw this a while ago. I think it was like Cold Steel 4 came out for us when this intro came out. I mean, we could see Ren there. So based on that now, I'd say that was her father, wasn't it? Because they said in the scene we just saw that he had his own work and stuff like that. I think we have some idea who that guy is as well. And we could spot those two walking off there as well. Don't think I didn't spot them. Oh, sorry, it's not Ren, is it? It's Renee. Oh, yes, of course. What did I call her in Sky as a joke? I can't remember now. I said that to replicate that joke in Sky, and then I was like, hold on, I can't remember what I called her. We'll go with Renee. It's just there is a Renee in this now, so it's like, oh, can't do that. I mean, that was clearly some growls written then, I think. Because they seem to be in front of a church. Because it went a bit quick. But yeah, when I was just speaking about like how this could be to do with the Septerion of Time there, that tower we just saw then, it has a big clock on it, which is what made me lean towards the idea that this could be about the Septerion of Time. Somehow. Lovely. So now we're going into chapter 1, I assume. Yes. There we go. Spriggan of the Slums done. Main 4 SPG, her great-grandfather's orbment completed. That's a name. 10,000 Mira.
That's how it goes. That's pretty good, I guess.
I guess. I'm assuming that question where it's like, does any of these locations seem odd to you? Maybe if I said that differently, I would have got like rank AAA. Maybe? Or is it still S for that part, but then it's AAA on the evaluation rank bit rather than the report? I don't know. You'll know better than me. Oh, there we go. SP and rank. You can acquire SP Spriggan points by completing 4 SPGs and making optimal choices. 15 ranks ranging from E to AAA. Okay. Does that change anything, though? That's my question. To you lot out there that already know this, does that change anything? Like,
I'm Agnés Claudel. I still have a lot to learn, but I promise I'll do whatever I can to keep up.
Recruited. All right, then. Like, it may be a case of, like, if it's super important, if I need a certain amount of points or something like that to either get an ending or a quest or something like that, it might be worth following a spoiler-free guide. If not, doesn't matter, we'll just play it as is, we'll see what happens. So let me know, like, does it affect anything other than, you know, getting some lovely items? That's what I need to know. Appreciate it if you do tell me. Much appreciated. Right, proceed. Agnés, was that it? Agnés has joined Arkride Solutions. We'll just proceed. Take your time. Oh, hello. Well, they seem to be Jaeger Corps. Not sure which ones, though.
This here will be the turning point. All units, assume the dual Lancer formation. Yeah!
Well, there we go.
We won't be defeated! Shine! Falcons of the Sun! Sir!
Not yet! Too easy.
Oh my.
I've got you.
Oh, flames! Become one with me!
Ooh, I like that weapon.
Well, look at that. Guess we lost this one. Huh.
So, training?
Regimental Commander of the Eisen Shield, Garant Rieger. We are open to accepting your offer for a ceasefire. How does a 7-3 split sound?
Vice Chief of the Warriors of Kruga, Hassan Al-Fayyad. We will accept no less than 6-4. Fail to accept, and the fighting continues.
Very well. 6-4 to us it is. Glory to the Kruga! Glory to Arusha!
Interesting.
Yeah!
That works, I guess. I figured more it was gonna end in a draw. Your counterattack was really good, just lacking that bit of oomph at the end. If you'd seen my attempt to throw you off balance coming, you'd have had a slew of more strategic options to work with.
You're right. Thanks, Ida.
Think nothing of it. You've got a lot of potential. You just need more practice and to up your stamina. With enough of both, you'll be right on the heels of my other little sister from back in the day in no time.
Do you mean Sylphide?
Uh-huh.
I'd still like to know more about her. Hey! That tickles!
I can't help it. I see this hair and I just get the urge to ruffle it.
Really?
Well, next time we meet off the battlefield, I'll tell you about my old corps. Zephyr's got a whole lot of stories in it to tell.
Awesome! Better make that a promise.
So we spending time with you in chapter 1? Take your time. Take your time. Oh? What's September 6th? Oh no. Back to Edith. The young flame departs. September 6th, 1208, 9:30 a.m. Kitty? Messeldam Film Festival cancelled in response to terrorist threat. Minor conflict at the southern base of the Ishkal Mountains continues, or concludes even. Continues. It says concludes. I don't know. Major capital firm expands into Langport's new district.
Damn. I just wanted to see if there was anything interesting going on, but all I get is doom and gloom. Still, the info here's put together real nice and organized, even if the design's got the admin's tastes all over it.
Genesis, Antique Orbment, Claude Epstein. Hollow System, Mysterious Phenomena, Almata, Grendel. The search keywords return very few results. Try using different keywords.
Should have known. Haven't heard a thing about Almata in a while now. They must have pulled out of Edith for the time being. As for Genesis and the Grendel, still coming up empty. Are they being actively deleted? Is this all part of some big cover-up?
Yeah, just tell me what you want.
She's the same as usual, too. Should I call on Marduk? Nah, that'd probably just cause even more headaches for me. Well, it's almost time for my regular checkup, so may as well put a pin on it. Why do I feel like I'm gonna get an earful this time?
Because you probably are.
Wanna not bang my door in, Yumes?
Whoa, you're up already? That's crazy!
It's far too early in the day for you.
Good morning, man. You better be earning an honest living up here. No bringing shame to the goddess or your landlords.
No prizes for guessing who you learned all that from. How about taking after your mother instead? Wouldn't it be nice to become a charming, pretty lady just like her one day?
Yeah, I want to be just like Mommy. Oh, but Agnés is really pretty too.
Come on in. Don't be shy.
Well, if you say so. You said not to come in my uniform, so I wore this. How do I look?
It'll work, I guess.
I used to have a beret. I wonder where that went.
Kinda too dressy for casual walking around town, but then again, going the plain route with you would just make you stick out like a sore thumb.
I bought it one time when I was in Paris.
Still beats the uniform either way.
That's good.
You're being mean, Van. She looks really pretty, so you should tell her she looks really pretty. Come on, let's ditch this big loser and eat some breakfast.
I like the idea of breakfast, yes.
We're serving bacon quiche with pumpkin soup today.
I mean, I'm on board with bacon.
Oh, that sounds delicious. Lead the way.
Well, damn. Those two sure hit it off quick.
Indubitably. Alright, this is now your first official day on the job. First thing's gonna be going over how this all works. I could use a formal primer, so yes, please do. Now, unless a major job comes in, I just go around the city helping people out with little problems. As for how I take them on, well, you'll see. It's not the usual route, but it gets the job done and us paid. The plan today is going to involve you touring around with me, so you can get a visual on all of the above. Was that why you were concerned about me standing out too much in my uniform? Yeah. Oh, and one more thing. I pretty much told you this when we first met, but not all the jobs I take are above board. Some of them are from crooks. Some are damn near illegal. I don't take on anything and everything, of course. I do turn jobs down sometimes. But what I'm comfortable doing and what an average student is comfortable doing are gonna be very different. So one more time, you sure you want to work with me? Yes. I know the world isn't always such a pretty place. Now, that awareness may not be through personal experience, but I'd say that even for a 16-year-old girl, I know a lot more than the average student about both sides of the coin. How old are you, by the way? Where'd that come from? 24? 24? Really, I thought you were a little younger than that. I was hoping for something like 32? 32? Though it makes sense of how much life experience you seem to have. At 24? Alright. Your clothes, room, and hobbies seem to be a generation ahead of mine, too. So you're almost a decade older than me, huh? Glance. Yeah, to a high school student I might as well be knocking on death's door already. From my perspective, you got like another 80 years, mate, but alright. Make the most of your teenage years, alright? Might feel like an eternity until you graduate, but the second you cross 20, you'll be walking with your cane like an old codger in no time. He's really playing that up, isn't he? Oh, I didn't say being in your 20s was old, just that you were older than me. Circling back to what we were talking about before, you don't have to worry about me. I'm confident I can handle any task you give me. I'll be the judge of that. We'll be sticking to 3 of the city's districts. First, I'll show you around Old Town, where we are now, which is the 8th district. I use some of the shops here in my day-to-day work, so they'll be worth committing to memory. That sounds good. I'm ready when you are.
Getting ready for a hard day's work?
No, not a hard day's work. That's right. Oh, I didn't want coffee. I put her on a trial period to start with.
Then that's all the more reason why you need to support her while she learns.
I did.
Don't overdo it today, and make sure you're back in time for dinner. I mean that for you too, Agnés. We'll have a piping hot, delicious meal waiting for you. Wouldn't want it to get cold now, would you?
Oh, God, no. You're not a mum, you know. Oh, thank you. I already can't wait. The people here are so sweet. You're really blessed to have such a wonderful family as landlords. Shame the old man's always getting on my case, though. Anyway, we'll head off as soon as you finish your... You got you-know-what with you, right? I do. There it is. You got a bag just for it, okay. You told me to keep it on me at all times to prevent it from being stolen. Good. Who knows if it'll activate out of nowhere like it did before. But as long as I'm with you, I'll back you up as best I can. Gotta look out for my new assistant while I'm still giving her the tour, right? Right.
And speaking of, shall we?
Shall we?
We shall. Then let the workday begin.
Indeed. I really like Van. I really do. So what's the first order of business? The first thing I do every day I'm working is check the notice boards around the city. Speak to the NPCs, what I like to refer to as the rounds. There's one here in Old Town, so let's go check that one out for starters. Got it. Oh, we should probably go talk to Victor before we head out, though. We should pay a visit to the repair shop down the alley out front, too. Understood. Victor first, then after which we can check the notice board and visit the repair shop. Got it. Alright, event markers. Characters or locations with an event will have a marker on them. So required events are like, the quests, the 4 SPGs, optional 4 SPGs, and the sub-events. So we want to do, because of how we do it, we want to do blue, green, red. Well, it's more we want to do dots on the map, blue, green, red. Make or order of priority, like make sure we get everything done first. That's the aim now. You can now use the travel menu. Oh, it's a map of Edith. Locations you have been to are auto-registered. Okay. Lovely. Right, so what we'll do is we'll use this as a place to end this part, and in the next part we'll see about speaking to people around here and then seeing if we can exit before we speak to Victor over here. So, we'll see you in the next part. Have a good one. Ta-ra for now.